Brian, it was a really exciting match, it must be said, at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Plenty of goals, but I suppose whatever about the win, putting Tottenham Hotspur really back into that top four race, the style of football, the manner of that performance this afternoon will really have the supporters of the club buzzing after that game.
Yeah, I think it was a very good performance all round. Apart from the concession of a poor enough set piece goal, West Ham got very few corners in the game. Spurs didn't deal with, but they're a good attacking side. That they use their set piece as well, the good delivery. But apart from that, and a couple of other little moments, Yarmolenko had a bit of a chance in the second half. And he got in the inside on the left side. Mikel Antonio in the first half got in off a bad pass back from Harry Kane towards Doyle that was short, and he put it wide. Other than that, Spurs were in I would say nearly total control. The passing at half time was quite even, the numbers, which surprised me. I thought Spurs had a lot more passes, but in the second half they were dominant in the game, and I felt that they might get caught through coughing up, through not taking their opportunities. They got a lot of chances to finish it off and get 2-goal lead, and it took until the 88th minute for to get that. But I thought they well deserved the third goal. Good football, played well, and particularly impressive from the midfield up into the attacking positions. And bit of hope there, I think, for Spurs fans.
Yeah, and I suppose the interesting thing is that, you could look at this, we could talk all day about their strikers. We know they've got brilliant goal scorers. That's never been a problem for Tottenham Hotspur. It was always what was going on behind them. And as we mentioned in the game, we've been talking about it since. They've made some really good signings there. Kulievski to back up the two lads up front. They got Bentancur in the middle, and then Romero then playing in that centre-back trio. So the team seems to be coming together. Now, is that kind of enough to take Tottenham, do you think, into the top four places? Of course, they got a really tough challenge against Arsenal, who are also going for it, and Manchester United as well. We've seen from Arsenal, they've got a bit of character and guts in that team now as well.
Well, with the performance today, they showed that they're capable of winning all the games they have left. One of those games against Liverpool away, I think, yeah. And but the way they played against Manchester City when they won the game 3-2 showed that they can do it against the best of teams. But the lack of consistency would also suggest to you that, the next couple of games, Newcastle, who knows? They played as well as they did today. They should beat Newcastle and Aston Villa next match. Then I think they've got Brentford, and they've got a lot of matches against teams that you'd say, yeah, Burnley. Some of them are scrapping near the bottom. But they have the quality, but it's just whether they can produce the consistency of performance to do it. I don't think they'll catch Arsenal. I think they'll need to get something, do something exceptional to catch Arsenal, and I don't think they're capable of that. I don't think they've had the consistency that Arsenal seem to be finding, apart from losing the match with Liverpool when they played very well during the week. They have seemed to have got themselves together and have found a pattern of play that works for them. And Spurs are just getting there, but they're still not anywhere near consistent enough. And you've only to look back a couple of weeks to find those results. They lost to Middlesbrough in the Cup, lost to Burnley in the league, lost to Southampton. Let's say they're really an up and down team, but they seem to be finding a bit of form. But I think it's going to be too late to have a major impact on this season.
Just as you mentioned Arsenal there, that game against Aston Villa yesterday, very impressive performance, grinding out a 1-0 win after being beaten by Liverpool after a superb first half performance in that particular game. And it is just noticeable, I remember doing their first match of the season against Chelsea, went 2-0 down. They could have really capitulated in that match, but they fought hard to make sure they didn't lose by a big margin. They did get hammered by City a couple of weeks later, but they've showed some great character, great determination, something that's been lacking in an Arsenal team for a long, long time, you'd have to say, Brian. And that must be impressing you as well.
Yeah, I think that the manager has finally started to make headway. He's made some big decisions. Obviously, the Aubameyang one, I thought that needed to be made for a good while. I remember going back to their performances in the Europa League last year, which were very mixed. But I thought Aubameyang as the captain was a bit of a disaster in those games. Didn't set the tone for the rest of the team with a proper work rate and real any sort of aggression or intent or passion, I thought. So, I think that has worked out to be a good move. They seem to have got the centre-back situation sorted out. Tierney has always been playing well in the full-back position anyway. Suarez has gone in at the right-back position now. The Japanese lad is out injured. And the solid, the goalkeeper has had a very good season, even if he let in a soft goal against Liverpool. Maybe the first goal was the goal on the near post.
Yeah,
it was. But other than that, he's been exceptionally good. And I wondered when they signed him. I said, has he been that good at Sheffield United that you're saying he'd be good enough for Arsenal? But he's proved to be the case. He's probably the best English goalkeeper available at the moment. I think he's in better form than Pickford. But the youth in their team and the system, Partey has found his way. Granit Xhaka is playing slightly different, more advanced on the left side of the train in midfield. Odegaard. Young Saka obviously scored a goal yesterday. He's been really, really good. And Martinelli on the other side. Lacazette, a different position, playing off, drop deep, false nine, whatever you want to call it. But it seems to be working for them very efficiently. They look fresh and they're in good shape and in good form, and they look the most likely to make that top 4 position for me.
Just to finish then on the team that lost today, Brian, West Ham United. I know you were saying that David Moyes, he will be going for both competitions, the Premier League and the Europa League. He won't be trying to pull back. But the squad is being stretched now with those injuries. It could get worse from. He doesn't really have a deep squad as it is. And, the Europa League, you throw, I know people are suggesting that you throw a lot in with that competition, but, the draw hasn't really worked out too well for them. Lyon, you'd expect them maybe to beat a team that's struggling in Ligue 1 in France, but then they come up against either Eintracht Frankfurt or Barcelona. A lot of people favouring Barcelona in that tie because of their resurgence under Xavi, and that would be a massive challenge for West Ham if they were to get to a semi-final.
Yeah, well, look, they're in it. They're delighted to be in it. The passion was in the stadium, transferred to the team. On Thursday night, I covered the game. West Ham played very well, and I was delighted for them. I was delighted for David Moyes. He's had his tough times as a manager going back over the last number of years. He was out of work for a good while on 2 or 3 occasions. But the other night he enjoyed it, and he's certainly done a real job at West Ham. So I wouldn't underestimate their ability to beat Lyon. And if they beat Lyon, I think it's possible they could beat Barcelona. Aren't by any means the real deal. They have they've improved. Aubameyang has gone there from Arsenal. He scored a few goals. If the young players in the middle of the field, Pedri and Gavi, these players really, really clever players. But they're still vulnerable defensively. Busquets still holding the middle of the field. I look at. I think West Ham have a chance. They're a team, they're a top 6, top 7 team in the Premier League at the moment. Barcelona are back in the top 4 in Spain, but they've had a very, very mixed season, to say the least. And while they look like they're improving, look, let's wait and see. But it's a good position for West Ham to be in. I think it's going to be difficult for them. I don't think they're going to make the top 4. And whether they be content to keep in the top 6 or 7, so be it. They've got a tough enough programme left in terms of the Premier League. There's some difficult matches. The Everton match was a vital match for Everton before they play Lyon. But I think anything is possible for West Ham in this competition.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.